What is up, guys? Truman here, welcome back to another video. So, it was only a matter of time before I actually did it, and I realized that I needed to actually start making all of those healing videos because everyone's been asking about them. And funnily enough, about 50% of my audience is not here for NoFap. Actually, it's actually a lot higher than that. About 65% of people have absolutely no interest in NoFap. But I just haven't actually had the energy to do it. I'm currently on a juice fast. I've been on a juice fast for about 50-something days. And I better get the days right because I only messed it up for the other thing. And I have had no energy to do it. Not only that, but I've had no time. I mean, I've been having to do the juice fast whilst working, whilst also cleansing, and it's just been such a roller coaster that I really haven't had that much time to really sit down and do it. And when I do it, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. So I'm going to wean myself back into these videos by making just like short part 1 videos about it. And today's subject is how to heal the gut. Now, it was inevitable that I actually touched upon this because all of my previous videos talking about autism and other issues, it was inevitable that people would ask me how to actually heal the gut. That, and I also think that healing the gut is one of the most important things that you could ever do. Fun fact, I am still healing my gut. I'm in the process of completely resetting my gut back to when I was a kid. And when I say a kid, I mean a young kid, before my gut started to getting messed up by processed foods and all sorts of other stuff. And I can't sugarcoat it. If you want to have the same gut that you had when you were born, like when it's all clean and stuff, it's going to take months. But it's going to be worth it. Literally every single day when I actually cleanse out, and I do it successfully, I have a very, very specific protocol. I feel great. I feel a bit crap during the day, but every single day I feel better and better and better and better and better. I'm cleansing out toxins, I'm cleansing out parasites, I'm cleansing out all sorts of other stuff. And just as a disclaimer, I will be talking about stuff like parasites and this stuff, so if you're a bit squeamish, I'm sorry, but you cannot heal the gut unless you address parasites. But yeah, healing the gut is probably one of the most transformative things, the most transformative areas of my body that I've experienced actually healing. Simply because our guts, you have no idea just how filled to the brim your gut actually is with toxins. I was amazed that even though I haven't eaten in 52 days, there's still stuff there. It's packed up. Sorry, TMI, but if you clicked on this video, you know it's going to be a bit of TMI. There's still stuff there. We have no idea how much we're actually carrying around with us. So why is this? I'm just going to talk quickly about it. The main reason I think it's an absolute epidemic is because people just aren't eating properly. They're not eating enough fiber, eating way too much sugar, and it's causing all sorts of problems. That, and when you take into the account the fact that most of our foods are totally nutrient depleted. A lot of the foods that we had that would give us all the nutrition have gone. So we don't have enough magnesium, we don't have enough sulfur, we don't have enough anything. So the body can't actually maintain its normal functions. And the old stuff, like for example the iodine in the bread, has been replaced with bromide, which is also bad for you. So the foods that we're eating are clogging us up faster than something that I could actually give an analogy for, but I can't because the analogy center of my brain is not working for some reason. Faster than that. And because of all of that, basically most people, I'll guarantee about 70% of people have gut issues. And I absolutely, it is one of the biggest things that I see. And one of my biggest frustrations, right, is when people come into my shop. I work in a health food and a supplement company, and they think that they're fat. And I'm like, okay, you don't look fat. And they said, no, this belly, no, this fat. Could you give me a weight loss supplement? I'm gonna break something for you guys. That, if you're walking around with a belly pouch, that's not fat. That's not fat. The amount of guys I see, they're really, really skinny. They don't have any meat on them like me because I haven't eaten, so shut the hell up. And they have this pouch on them, and this pouch, literally, they think is fat. So they're doing all this stuff, they're exercising more, they're doing all this stuff, but the pouch isn't going away because the pouch is not fat. The pouch is indicative of a gut that is backed up with toxins, is inflamed, is full of parasites, candida, and all sorts of other funguses. Or it could even be that you've eaten something that's lodged in there that's causing an allergic reaction. It's not fat, it's inflammation. It's actually water. Because what happens is when you start eating stuff that your body can't break down or that you're allergic to or that is just inherently bad to eat, like wheat and stuff like that, your body will basically cordon off the area with water because it's causing all sorts of damage to your intestinal tract. You have all sorts of other nasty organisms putting out all these toxins, and you feel bad, and you get this bloat. The bloat is not bad. The bloat is the body basically cordoning off the area and making it so that all these toxins, as little toxins as possible, can get into your bloodstream. Because those toxins, when they get into your bloodstream, cause all sorts of issues like anxiety issues, mood issues, food cravings, and all sorts of stuff. I tell you, if you clean your gut, you will have a quality of life that you never thought that you could have. I mean, even today, during my cleanse, well, I reach a plateau for about 2 days where I start to think, oh, have I done the right thing? And then because I've been cleansing, I get a massive, again, TMI, but I warned you, I get a lot of toxins come out all at once, and I feel transformed. Like, oh, I feel transformed. Even now, my energy levels are getting higher and higher and higher. And all sorts of stuff is changing, like my focus, my concentration, my sleep is a lot better, my mood. Cleaning my gut was one of the main reasons why I actually have a stable mood now. So I'm just going to touch on some of the few things that you can actually do to start cleaning the gut, because I tell you, it's been a real trip making this channel, because it's so hard to condense all the information that I have into a video format whilst doing all the other stuff that I do. And I still get loads of questions from people asking me to break it down, which is why I'm really just making this into a sort of intro, because I'm trying to wean myself into it, and whenever I have a day off, I sit down for an hour and just collate all the research and put it in bullet points. But the first thing you can do right now to start to heal the gut is to stop getting out, or to stop eating all the toxic foods. That means to reduce your sugar consumption, reduce your excess carb consumption. Stop eating in McDonald's. Hell, smoking will do it. Reduce your alcohol consumption. And slowly, as you start to reduce those, you're already on the way to actually healing the gut. Now, there are a lot of people who are eating what they think is a healthy diet, but still have a lot of problems. I see a lot of people, including myself, when I was still trying to eat healthy. Eating what I thought was really healthy, but I still had this giant pouch. I still had this pouch, and I still have these issues. Now, this is because the gut has to be cleaned properly, and it's very, very specific, and there are so many different things that you can actually slip up on. Like, for example, one of the diets that I'm going to go into in the future is the GAPS diet, the Gut and Psychology Syndrome diet. Or is something that's a bit more familiar, is the paleo diet. I think my favorite diet to recommend to people, and obviously I'm going to do a vegan-friendly version if people want, is the paleo diet. But my ratio is about 60% vegetables, 60 to 70% vegetables, about 20 to 30% meat, and then 10% carbs. And obviously you can all alternate. But I really do recommend a high healthy fat, high vegetable, and low carb diet. I think that's really, really good. High carb diets never work. I'm sorry. What your body is doing is it is using this fuel, which is why you feel so good. Or one who is on a very high carb diet and a lot of sugar. You feel good because you're constantly pumping rocket fuel into the body. And what basically happens is your body gets worn down because it wears down the engine. So you start getting all these issues, you start getting all this stuff. And many people don't even realize it because they just think, oh, I've always been anxious, or I've always been that. But that's the body basically constantly trying to contend with these toxins. Pathogens and parasites move in, you lose the ability to properly metabolize minerals, so you can feel great for years on a high carb diet, especially if it's a healthy high carb diet. But after a while you start to manifest all these issues, which is why, especially if you're a vegan, you really need to be eating vegan food. I keep plugging away at this, but I've seen far too many vegans who buy vegan-like food, and then if they don't buy vegan-like food, they make it, and literally their plate, they have like potatoes, lentils, it's just carb, wall to wall, and then a fucking, and then maybe a piece of fruit afterwards. And it's like, I'm sorry, it's just a recipe for disaster. Now, there are some good vegans out there, but this is not a video about that. So, the first step to healing the gut, guys, is to getting out the actual stuff. Getting out the gluten, getting out excess sugar, getting out the carbs, especially grains. Grains are extremely harmful for you, unfortunately, unless they're processed right, or if they're heirloom seeds, or if they're the right kind of grain. But those ones, if you start to reduce that, you're already on the way to actually start healing the gut. Now, I'm coming up to the end of the actual limit for what I can actually say, because this video is just meant to be me getting back into it and getting enough content out there, because I've realized, especially with my channel, that I really do need to make it into as many small steps as I can, because there's so much information and I have a hard time getting everything out. So this is just an introduction. But just to round it all off, I'll give you guys a few supplements that you can take right now to help to heal the gut. One of them is L-Glutamine, especially if you want to get rid of that pouch. L-Glutamine and probiotics. Probiotics and L-Glutamine, that will basically help to soothe the gut, to heal the gut, and the probiotics will help to balance the good and bad levels of bacteria in the gut. The more bad you have, the worse you feel and the more bloated you get. But the good guys, the probiotics, will actually heal the gut for you, even while you're eating. So if you want to see a good benefit right now, start getting L-Glutamine and probiotics. You could also add multivitamins and colostrum as well. I'll put the list below. And already you're going to start seeing massive changes in the gut. So that's just my advice for now. guys, because like I said, this is literally just me starting to make health videos and just talking. Tune in later, or I'm actually going to go like step 1, like what foods to eat, what supplements to eat, and some pitfalls, because literally I could talk for hours on this and I'm running out of time. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Leave any questions you have underneath. Not too many, because I'm literally about to cover the whole thing. And yeah, I'll see you all later. Peace.